Hey, Govin here. And I want to share with you this really neat idea on this edge of the napkin. So, this week, we want to talk about this silent partnership that we have. And what if I were going to suggest to you that you have a partner that you're not using to the fullest extent possible, partially because we don't name them? We don't treat them like an equal partner. In fact, we treat them sort of like they're subservient to us in some kind of way. And really, what I'm talking about is your unconscious mind. A lot of people like to call it the subconscious. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on and the difference between those two meanings. But obviously, unconscious just means that it's probably parallel. It's there doing something not at the same level, maybe not in the same way as the conscious mind, but it's the unconscious mind. The idea that it's subconscious makes it subservient to the conscious mind, and maybe it should be following commands, but that's not really the way it works, is it? Think about it. How many times are you thinking about one thing, wanting to do one thing, and ending up having your mind wander? Have you ever wondered if it was your unconscious mind leading you to a different decision, a different option, a different idea that you've never even considered before? So that's the idea that I would like us to explore today. Because leaders operate under enormous pressure. There are dozens of decisions and directions to go in on a daily basis. The conscious mind is the spotlight of the attention, but it could only hold a limited amount of information at once. In fact, what we perceive is just a small percentage of what's actually happening in the world. Some people say that there are 2 million bits of data hitting our minds at all time, 2 million bits. But we're only able to consume 126 of those. Not 126K, 126. So that percentage, 0.006%, is a tiny, tiny percent of the total amount of data. So when we think that our conscious mind understands what's happening, does it? Or is it just picking the thing that it understands best? The unconscious mind, on the other hand, is this vast operating system running all of your memories, your habits, your creativity, your emotion regulation. How you feel about things is happening in the background, parallel to what we're trying to think about or actively engaging with our conscious mind at any given time. So when leaders ignore the partnership between the conscious mind and unconscious mind, you kind of burn out trying to consciously control everything. But when you embrace it, you unlock the ability to create more. You unlock your intuition and resilience. Think about it like a CEO and a COO. The CEO sets the direction, and the COO makes sure that everything runs smoothly. Without trust and alignment, the company or leader or person suffers. So, what is this partnership? What does it look like? Well, the conscious mind is about logic, willpower, analysis, decision making, the things you can see, and the things that you think you understand. The unconscious mind has a lot of other jobs. It stores memories. It stores them in relation to time and also not in relationship to time. And it makes associations between similar things and actually helps you learn quickly. That gut feeling. It also organizes all your memories in a way that strings them along in a time so that you can actually go back like a little index card to the past and find your memories. It represses things that you haven't resolved and also those negative emotions that are associated with them. And it does that to protect you, but it presents the memories back to you when you can resolve them. And think about it as the times when things seem like they're going right, like really well, then bang, something comes back out of nowhere, out of the past. How do you react? Well, you're doing really well, and your unconscious mind is presenting you this idea for resolution. It may keep those repressed memories, though, repressed, along with those negative emotions for your own protection. Now, does that sound like a partner? Absolutely. It also helps you run the body, right? We know that our unconscious mind, we do a lot of things unconsciously. So it has a blueprint of how the body is supposed to work now, and also maybe in a better way, because it wants to fix the body. It is the domain of the emotions. So when you're feeling something, you're often feeling it in your unconscious mind. And it enjoys to serve you. It enjoys to give you instruction based on morality that you were taught when you were young, that you accepted to be true. Not the morality that you were taught and rejected, but the morality that you were taught and you accepted. It will bring that back to you again in gut feelings, in your little voice inside your head. It enjoys serving, but it does need clear orders to follow, and helps you maintain your perception of other people and other things. You know, when you get that, again, feeling, just that feels right. When you meet that person and you feel great about that person, or when you walk into a room and feel an energy that's just pulling you towards somebody, it's your unconscious mind. It helps you understand all of those impulses by sending you signals, maybe little energetic signals. And it helps you to get those instincts that guide you when things feel safe, when things feel dangerous, that fight and flight emotion. It helps you understand those instincts, and also helps to generate habits around things that you are doing. It needs a lot of repetition until you can change habits, just like anything else, because a lot of habits are unconscious, but that program takes a long time to install, and a lot of debate about how long that is. Some people think it's 27 days. It's not my experience. My experience is that time is much longer, but you can reprogram it. You can generate new habits, installing new habits. Your unconscious mind is also programmed to seek more and more and more. It's curious. There's always more to discover, always more to experience, always more to learn. And it's symbolic. It gives you these feelings and these ideas, but doesn't really communicate clearly. So it's important to be very highly connected to it. It takes everything personally. It's that part of you that believes that everything's about you in some kind of way, shape, or form. And that's a useful part of it, because you can be the person who is actively in control and taking responsibility for the situation, whether or not it happened to you or near you. You can take responsibility for it. It didn't happen to you, it happened for you. That's a choice. It also helps you find the path of least resistance. Helps you find an easier way. The habits, for example, come back to that, the instinct, that energetic impulse. All of those things are about your unconscious mind finding an easier way to do it. And it knows an easier way to do it. It's in there. So you know this. What a great partner you have that maybe you're not using actively because you think of it as being subservient to the conscious mind. The most interesting thing about it in your unconscious mind is it doesn't process negatives directly. Think about it. If I said, don't think of a purple tree, or don't think of a pink elephant, surely you're thinking at least of one of those. So when you bring those two ideas, the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, into partnership, you can align your unconscious programs, your beliefs, your values, your habits to support your conscious goals on the things that you want. Otherwise, you could experience some inner conflict, like, I want this, but something's holding me back. So understanding that your unconscious mind is not less than, it's not subconscious, it's a partner with immense resources. So how can you leverage this partnership? Start off with clarity of intent. The conscious mind sets specific and compelling directions. The unconscious then seeks patterns and solutions. So repeating that on a regular basis is a really great way of doing it. How do you repeat that clarity of intent? Write it down. Write down your intent every single day. Be certain and clear of it. Restate it at several times during the day. There are days when I need to be a father. This weekend, I had the great privilege of taking my daughter and her dance team out to a camping trip. This was not the day to be an entrepreneur. This was not the day to try to take charge of the situation. It was a day to support her experience with her dance team. Myself and two other fathers were there, and we were largely just facilitators. Facilitators for food, facilitators for transportation, and for safety and comfort. So finding the right role and being clear about that intent helps my unconscious mind set at ease that I don't have this work to do today. I don't have to think about work today. I don't have to think about other things. I can just be present. So being clear with the intent, setting that intent the moment you wake up. I learned a method from my mentor, Warren Rustan, many years ago about spending a few minutes every day on writing great thoughts, reading great thoughts, and thinking great thoughts, and deciding, being clear, declaring the intention for the day, my intention for the day. Repetition and ritual can also help you align your unconscious and conscious minds. Habits, affirmations, journaling, and visualization train the unconscious to think about and focus on what you want. You know, the how to achieve it is the limiting belief. We don't know how to achieve all of our visions that are 3 to 5 years in the future because they're doing things that we've never done before. But the mere capacity that we have to set our eyes on that target means that we have the ability to do it. We may not have the path figured out quite yet, but that's where we can use our unconscious mind to align us in that direction if we create that partnership. So how do we do it? Write it out. Write the story of what that's going to look like every single day. Spend a few minutes in scribbling it out in as much detail as you can. Make a visual picture. Make sure you can hear what's happening. You can taste and touch and feel and smell what's happening in those moments. The more of your senses you activate on a daily basis around what you want will help you clarify the actions that you need to engage in between now and then. Your unconscious mind will start to help you put those pieces together. It'll come to you when you act. It's not write it down and then go to sleep. It's not write it down, sit under a tree, and manifest. It's write it down and act. Write it down and do. So habits, affirmations, journaling, visualizations train the unconscious mind to focus on what you want. And then listen to the signals. Because your unconscious mind doesn't communicate to you directly, we're building the partnership between the unconscious mind and conscious mind. What you want to do is listen to your dreams, your intuition, your gut reactions. Are your unconscious sending you feedback? Create space for the pause so that you can pay attention to these signals and not misunderstand them. Tools like journaling and mindfulness and coaching bridge the two minds so actions will align with your deeper values. So your actions will align with the direction that you want to go in life. So your actions align with what you want, not with what you had. Because if you follow the hows of the past, they reach right here. They brought you here, and they were good because they brought you here. But if you want to go there, then you have to focus on that. So when you embrace this idea of the two minds, this partnership of the conscious and unconscious minds, if you saw your unconscious mind not like a mysterious force, but as a trusted partner, it makes strategy execution easier and simpler because behaviors, energy, and emotions are all pulled in the same direction, in the direction of your future. You're pulling the future in, and it's pulling you towards it. What if leaders could reprogram the things that hold you back, these limiting thoughts and beliefs, and unlock creativity on demand with a snap of a finger? Well, your potential is exponential. Clarity, innovation, resilience, and influence all expand when your conscious mind and unconscious operate as true partners. So think about these two ideas as parallel, powerful partners. Think about activating your unconscious mind and aligning it by building habits that clarify your intent every day and build focus on the future you want and pull it in to the present. Then you get the vast, resourceful, unconscious power working in your favor and with you. Make it a great day.